Now, we got some conflict happening within the big trades. First up, Hollywood Reporter was like, hey, DC, they're expanding. So many villain movies, and Joker too. And then Deadline's like, y'all clickbaiting, because no, they ain't. So now you got the big dudes calling each other. It's like, oh. So I don't know how to honestly, like, see this one because, like, a sequel to Joker doesn't make sense at all to me. Like, I'm just like, the way that entire movie is built up and what they do and the ending, it's literally, it'd be like making a sequel to Fight Club. Like, right after Fight Club came out, you're like, but you, like, it's a little confusing to me, and I understand why they would want, and maybe they are talking to Phillips, and apparently they had a meeting to discuss other villains, and Todd Phillips has possibly already taken one to make another standalone film built off of him. My assumption would be maybe Two-Face or someone, somebody that can fall into that mob type deal that obviously that's a little cheaper to produce. So what are they doing? What do they do here? Origin movies.
Apparently nothing.
Yeah, like what?
Like, Two-Face, I feel, is a character that we've already done multiple times and has been...
And we're doing again, because he's in Matt Reeves.
Yep.
Yeah, so he can't be a character that you're going to sit there and get an origin story to, especially if DC eventually is going to try again to bring these worlds together. Because you can't sit there and listen to them being like, no, we're going to keep everything standalone. No, you're not, because money will be there eventually.
Let's be real. Joker just passed $1 billion. There is no way DC's not like, we need a sequel. Because if they make... it's their most profitable film they've ever made.
I was going to say, it's Warner Brothers. They're going to make another one.
They need it because, again, they're reactionary, and that's kind of where it's at. Like, after Aquaman succeeded, they're like, The Trench. There's also rumors of a Black Manta spinoff. It's like, what? Like, no. Like, just slow it down a bit and work on what you have. Like, they just announced Black Adam. Okay, that's a villain origin movie. But then the director of Shazam is like, nobody's talked to me. I have no idea what's happening. It's a different director, different script writers, different agents. I know as much as you guys on here. It's like, oh boy. Like, that bums me out.
Especially because you want the two films to be able to come together, at least when it comes to Black Adam and Shazam. You want them to be able to come together seamlessly when they have to go and fight. So if you have, like, Light and Day, which, yes, I get it, good and evil, but if the films themselves are completely opposite spectrums, and something that can't actually come together, like oil and water, it's not going to do good, because you then have to have another director come in and try to work out everything that Black Adam created, everything that they created with Shazam, and attempt to bring it together. Yes, it has been done, because look at how vastly different everything in the Marvel universe is, and
Again,
they came together.
Kevin Feige sat everybody down every time and talked to them. Like, it doesn't seem like they're doing an aspect of that. So I'm like, I don't know. I want them to kind of get their head on straight and be like, this is the direction we're heading in. We're not going to, like, abandon it for 5 years. Because they've tried that twice already, and twice they've abandoned it completely. Like, once with Zack Snyder's and originally with the intended Green Lantern start. So it's like, well, I get why the villain thing might be something they want to push through, and they more than likely will, because it's cheaper, tons of money, but I don't know, like, a Joker 2 doesn't seem like...
It's not gonna...
I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it needs it, because the way it's structured, what is the point, like...
Also, I feel that it's not gonna get as much of the hype. Like, a lot of people went into this because it's Joaquin Phoenix. 2, there was so much press behind this film.
Kind of pitched as a standalone.
And it
like a one and done. Yeah.
A standalone. Like, from what it seems like, the way that it ends is not even like something that you can continue without having potentially Batman.
The thing is, if you want a sequel, you have to pick what the movie means. And the whole point of the Joker, by the time it ends, is you don't know what it means. So, like, was it a joke? Did it happen? Was he just...
I was going to say, like, if you make a sequel, you're confirming the ending of that movie.
Right, exactly.
Which the ending of that movie is kind of the entire point of it. So
Yep.
you can't. You could do one if just want money and you didn't really believe in what you did in the first place. But
Right.
does anyone who wants it?
No,
Is the question.
If they need to do a Joker movie, then why don't you bring back Todd Phillips if he must come back? Bring back Joaquin and make it an anthology of a completely different Joker, or
So you want what Gotham did?
maybe just make it an anthology. Like, just you can't. I just feel like a sequel is pointless. Like, how about, I don't know, bring in Mark Hamill, let him do his Joker
Well,
on
because
film. Why not?
if you do it that way, then it shows you that yes, they would have to have a lot of the same tones, meaning society is what helped create.
Would they though
this-
if it's an anthology?
I feel at least to be able to kind of get the Joker, but you can also sit there and do it in different period. Being like, you know what? Society repeats itself like history does. It's a rinse and repeat, and it's showing that it's inevitable for us to create a
Yeah,
villain like the
yeah.
Joker.
And
If they do it like that, that'd be freaking cool.
True, and I have no doubts that somewhere within Warner Brothers they've mandated that the Joker be mentioned in Matt Reeves' Batman, and at least somehow, if they want, they'll shove him into the sequel because they're like, well, that character sells merchandise, so.
He's even mentioned in Batwoman. Like, this character is a person that is so core to DC. Like, when it comes to you sit there and you be like, oh, what do you know that's DC? Batman, Joker, and then
Wonder Woman, Superman.
Yeah.
There you go.
like that's what everybody knows. Like, you sit there and you ask anybody who is a villain of Batman, the first thing that's going to come out of their mouth is Joker.
Well, not even that. Most top 100 greatest comic book villains of all time, Joker's always number one. So
Yeah.
every list ever made, it's very rare that he ends up anywhere but number one. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening because I'm assuming there'll be an announcement. If anything official happens, probably by the end of the year, because they'll want to start already hyping people before the award season and all that. So
Could we get a different villain besides a Batman one if you guys are going to continue?
No.
Like, we're getting Black Adam, yay. Can we get somebody besides Batman villains?
Well, who do you do?
Yeah, I would like to see... Okay, that is a good point.
General Zod. There we go.
Somehow that would be a Batman villain.
We've seen Zod, though, like 3 million times.
We've seen Joker 3 million times as well. It still just made $1 billion.
That is true.
All right, give us Brainiac.
I feel small... Krypton did a really good job with that.
Yes, they did. But
I
that got, axed, so.
Yeah.
Lol.
Okay, then there you go. Give me Brainiac, and then that's how you can potentially bring everybody
So
together.
you start off like Brainiac on some random planet. He's a little kid who likes collecting bugs, and then the society beats him into submission.
Oh my god.
So he's
See,
he
what
becomes a robot man that collects everything, and then he makes a giant robot body, and he collects relics like the bugs that made him. See, it makes sense.
See, what you've both forgotten is that's too sci-fi, and that's not a real movie.
Oh,
Oh.
well,
So take everything away. He's just a smart kid.
So
Maybe he's got
Oh.
like jaundice, so his skin changes
you
color.
literally, you literally just landed on what it's gonna be. It's clearly gonna be Lex Luthor running for president,
Oh yeah.
and they're gonna just mimic exactly what happened in the last decade.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the Superman will be the people opposing him, not Superman. Like, it'll be like a crew.
You mean they just be the Mexicans?
I
Kind of.
probably.
Really? That's probably the closest allegory you can make.
I guess people in the comments, let us know what you want to see from other villains that are potentially